I've got a confession to make.
I need to get this off my chest. As a business owner, we all make mistakes.
I've got to confess.
Hey guys, it's Charlie here from Confessions of a Business Owner, and today I'm joined for a second time by the one and only Travis Jones of RBT Gyms and Think Tank. How you doing, Trav?
Fantastic, man. So good to be here for another episode.
Yeah, well, I almost couldn't resist. And I have to start with this story because there's a very real reason why you're here today and why we're going to be talking about leadership. Now, a couple of weeks back, I was very fortunate enough to be at one of your events, one of the Think Tank events in Melbourne. And I came in a little bit early and you were presenting on leadership that day. And in all honesty, I was blown away. It was leadership thought about in a very different way than I thought about it. And I think that the common business owner would think about it or even do it these days. And I thought this will make an absolute great episode. And what a great way to kind of get it out there on a bigger level. So that is the backstory to how this episode came to be. But Trav, I know you got a lot to talk about on this episode, man. So let's kick it off from the top. How do you think about leadership these days?
I think the biggest thing for leadership is it gets overlooked by everyone, right? We always look at, got to get some leads in, got to get some sales in. And, so many people like sort of the lifestyle entrepreneurs, they don't have big teams, so they don't think about leadership at all. But I am someone who loves leadership, but leadership as far as like team sports or leadership as far as like your team or your community, your wider community of prospects. I think leadership is everything. And you are, as John Maxwell says, like you are the law of the lid. So, if you aren't expanding your personal knowledge or your personal belief or your personal development, then you can never lead your team correctly. So whenever I talk about leadership, before I talk about it, I talk about personal development. And I think that's where leadership starts. It starts with your own development, your own growth, your own reflection, your own, the law of the mirror, as he says. And, most of the stuff I talk about leadership, we look at some of John Maxwell's stuff as the crux of it because he has, his 21 laws of leadership. He has his, 15 laws of personal growth or his, qualities of a leader, and then also his 5 levels of leadership. But within it, then you can go, okay, identify these are some great core books. And then, if I am a level 1 leader, what's a great book for me to read? And it's probably like Robin Sharma's A Leader with No Title. And if I'm a level 2 leader, which is position-based leadership, it's like, what book should I read then? It's like, okay, probably Crucial Conversations. So you can actually give feedback back to your team. If I'm a level 3 leader, what should I read then? It's probably like Simon Sinek's book, which is Leaders Eat Last. So it's like as we start to go into leadership on a deeper level, like his books create like this, solid framework at the start. And as I go through each of the levels of his books, it goes, what can I add on to that, the tools on my tool belt to become even a better leader? And, like I said, the foundation, if we're talking about foundation as we build up, is just purely personal development. It's how you lead yourself because leadership is purely influence at the end of the day. And influence comes from your character or your credibility as a person. Credibility comes from your character. So character comes back to, again, personal development. What are my qualities that I live with every single day? And, do I do what I say I was going to do? And do I have the charisma? Can I communicate effectively? Can I inspire my team effectively? And leadership isn't just your team. It's, all the way through. It transcends everything you do with your business.
Well, I'll tell you what, Trav, anytime I speak with you, I feel like I'm drinking from a fire hose. I really do. And there's just so many gold nuggets. So the first thing I'll just quickly mention is anything you do mention, we will make sure is in the show notes for the listeners. There's some fantastic books and resources I'm sure people are scanning back from. But I want to go back a step here. And you mentioned something which I really enjoyed in your presentation, which is the levels of leadership, which you gave a scan through them. But what I'd love is let's go through those levels one by one, because I think it will help people self-identify where they're at with leadership a little bit.
Yeah, man, it's so crucial. Like levels of leadership, and before I'm going to preface this again, I rewind back. When you're thinking about this, I don't want you to think about you as a team. I want you to think about if you have just yourself, you are the team, you're leading your clients, you're leading your customers. Also, you're leading your future customers. So you're leading your community, whether it be an online community or a physical or 3 kilometers or 4 kilometers around my business. I'm leading everyone within 3 kilometers of me. or I'm leading everyone within my 20,000 audience that I market to. And then I'm leading my customers who currently pay me. And essentially leadership is utilizing Jay Abraham's strategy of preeminence. It's serving your marketplace so well before they even pay you, you're serving them like they are, and eventually they will pay you. And then thirdly, yes, you're leading your team if you do have a team. So I'm going to first preface that, because when we talk about this leadership, levels of leadership, they also work through when you're actually serving your marketplace or serving your customers as well. So the first level, when we talk about levels of leadership, we essentially talks about positional-based leadership, and it's the lowest. It's the lowest form of leadership. It's like, I gave you a title and now you became a leader. But the problem with level one leadership, influence essentially is leadership. And if you aren't creating influence, if I gave you a title and that is your influence, it's the lowest form of leadership. Essentially it's based on rights. It's not based on, yes, I want to follow this person. It's a poor substitute for influence. And you don't have team members, you have subordinates. I must follow this person because, they rely on the rules, they rely on the regulations, it's on policies and organizational charts. It's not because people go, they inspire me. They give me hope that tomorrow will be better than today. They don't respect you. They must listen to you. So what happens with a level one leader, they do just enough not to get fired for you. They do just enough to, a tick, I did my paycheck, but they're not essentially working for you after hours, not going above and beyond on the weekend. You don't inspire them that you're on this mission together. No, you don't have influence. There's no discretionary effort. Literally, what you told me to do, that's what I'm going to do, maybe even 5% less. And that's all I'm going to do because it is positional-based leadership and it doesn't require effort or ability to be at this level. Literally it doesn't. It's like, you are underneath me. And the problem with positional-based leadership, a lot of the time it comes down to essentially it comes with a little bit of frustration. It's like, why won't my team work for me? And then you go back with even sometimes anger or frustration. Your communication with them is not inspiring whatsoever. It's like a mother and a child. When a child does something wrong, you're telling them off. And they're like, oh, okay. And they're thinking, they're rolling their eyes in the back of their head. They're probably talking shit behind your back to your other employees. And it creates this organization of distrust. It creates this organization where people don't want to work for you. And even when we think about authority-based, when we're looking at this positional-based leadership, it's like when you're doing your marketing, you're telling people they're wrong. You're not inspiring them. You're not educating and empowering them. You're actually going, hey, you're doing the wrong nutrition, or hey, you're stupid to do marketing like that. People don't like to be talked to like that. People want to be inspired, or people want to be educated and empathized with. There's literally no empathy. There's no education in positional-based leadership. There is you're right or you're wrong. And if you don't do what I say, I'll find someone else to replace you.
Ooh, it opens up, and I know a few of those ones, but a really good example of this, would this be the case, is you employ someone and that's the reason, it's positional, or a manager above someone else. It's title-based leadership.
It 100% is title-based leadership, mate. So for us with RBT, we have 20 different locations. There's all little satellite leadership communities. And the reason I love leadership so much is because I have to try and, for myself, lead across different countries with our teams. I have to lead across 20 different locations, and each leadership creates culture, right? Every single manager, every location has to be the leader, and I have to, lead through them, through our teams. So within this, yes, they got hired as a level one leader. They got hired as a positional-based leader. So, you get put into this position, but you're a level one manager, I believe, and then you have to earn leadership. And the crucial thing when you think about this, guys, is you might not be a level one leader to everyone, or a level two, or a level three, or level four. Your leadership might be on different levels to different people. So all of a sudden it's yes, I've essentially achieved level three leadership. It's no, you haven't. You might be a level three leader to Sally, but you're a level one leader to Bob because you haven't spent the time to actually get to know Bob, to give him, looking at the 5 love languages, and we can bring that into leadership. You haven't given him quality time. You haven't done your acts of service. You haven't essentially given him any gifts. You haven't, actually looked at his love language and given to Bob what he needs to move to level 2. Okay, because that is crucial. We must look at, everyone is always level 1 until you move to level 2, which is permission-based leadership.
Ooh, so that's the nice tie-in then. So let's talk about level 2 then. I get a feeling for it. We've got to earn it. I've got that much. And I really love the touch of the love languages because I feel that is vitally important to every relationship and would be really important in leadership. But let's talk about level 2, permission-based leadership.
Yeah, so level 2 is so crucial, mate. Level 2 leadership is essentially all based on relationships. It's like, we look at the 5 languages, and that's why you need to understand that, or the 5 languages of workplace appreciation. I think that's a book as well that's fantastic. We can look at how they actually receive appreciation from me. Is it the acts of service, or is it the quality time? Like some of my managers, it's not that I need to educate them or I need to do stuff for them. Sometimes it's literally having a coffee with them, and it's just giving me my time because they know I'm busy. They know that I have a lot of stuff to do, but taking time out of my week and driving across the city or jumping on a plane to purely have a coffee, it's like, oh my gosh, like you care about me to spend time with me. And this is level 2 leadership because people follow people they like. And that is what happens at level 2 leadership. All of a sudden relationships are formed. You're treating them like an individual. You're treating them like you're going to start to trust you. Okay. You start to do things from them. It's not an agenda where it's like you work for me and you must do what I say. People are essentially starting to build solid relationships, and they're lasting relationships. And you can't lead people without them liking you. So level 1 leadership, they might just think you're a dickhead. Okay, level 2 leadership, you can never progress there unless they start to like you. And it's so crucial that you start to build trust. And we start to look at, the book Influence by Robert Cialdini. Start to give them reciprocity. You start to give to them and you'll get back. It's starting to create that trust, that likability factor. It's the Go-Giver Principle as well. It's another great book. And that's how you start to move to level 2 leadership because they start to know you better. They start to like you and they start to trust you. And that's what starts to bridge a long-lasting relationship with essentially your team. But if you're a level 2 leader, they might like you, but all of a sudden you're making no money. And what happens, just so crucial, right? This is such a crucial thing. When someone is stressed, if you're a leader and you're a level 2 leader, you're not making money, you're still paying bills. I'm sure everyone listening to this understands that concept, and you have to pay your team. When you're stressed, we always revert back to the level below, right? So all of a sudden, you trust you, all of a sudden they're not making sales and you don't know what you're doing because we're all friends here. How come they're not going above and beyond for me? I thought they liked me, and you're still not making sales. You get more and more stress. All of a sudden, it's bang, drop down into positional-based leadership, and you go, hey, you're not doing what I told you to do. What's wrong? All of a sudden, it's like a slap in the face. It's like, them, I thought we were friends. What happened? You didn't tell me when anything was wrong. And then all of a sudden, they either find a new job or there's resentment in the workplace because there's no such thing as feedback. And level 2 leaders, they might have friendships, but friendships don't pay the bills.
Oh, I reckon that's going to be the tagline for this episode, Trav. That is such a good line. And I think every business owner can relate. I certainly can relate to that on many points. Early in my career, that was 100% what was happening.
I think this comes back to this massively. I was a level 2 leader for so long, and it comes back to childhood, and it comes back to your relationships you have with your parents, or wanting to be liked. Everyone wanted to be the cool kid, right? And everyone wanted to be liked in high school. And for me, like that was a big thing. I was like, oh, I just want friends. And I used to go out for dinner with people, and it's like, I'll pay. Because I thought like me, gifts were my love language I saw growing up. So I thought people would love me and how I'd get friends. So I'd buy the drink, so I'd buy the dinner, and I wanted everyone to like me. When someone did something wrong, I would never tell them they did something wrong, because if I gave them feedback, I gave them like some form of, I sat them down and go, I didn't like that, then they might not like me anymore. So for me, like this was how I lived a lot of my childhood into my teenage years, and how I learned to try and be a leader at the start as well, because that's what I learned growing up. Because there's no one, when you start a business, like this is how you should lead. No one gives you that course. It's like, this is how you market and this is how you make sales. That's what they teach you. But they never teach you the crucial thing, but this is how you lead a team. This is how you lead yourself. This is why respect is so crucial for the next level, which is level 3 leadership. And for me, for so long, we never really moved forward as a business. Or we did move forward as a business, but we moved forward because I literally chucked the team on my shoulders and I just walked us forward. And even if they weren't working hard, I didn't tell them they weren't working hard. I just work harder to make up for them. And then they sort of take the piss. And they don't take the piss on like, for anyone who's listening in America, that is the terminology saying they essentially, take the mickey out of you, and they don't work hard because we're friends. Like, we're all friends here. We just do what we do. And that's a lot of businesses and a lot of small business owners, because you have a team of 2 or 3 or 4, it's very easy to move into the friendship line and not actually have respect, because they don't respect you as a true friend. And the difference with this, and I talked to this when I was talking to my team, I did this seminar on leadership, and a bunch of my team is females, right? And it's like, if you're a level 2, you're not a true friend if you're a level 2 leader. It's like a girl, right? If you're kind of friends with a girl and she goes out and you're wearing a dress that isn't good, okay? If you're not true friends, you'll go, yeah, you look good. But a true friend is a level 3 leader. A true friend is a level 3 leader who gives feedback. A true friend goes, that dress is shit. Change the dress. They start to give feedback. She goes, I appreciate you not letting me go out looking like a hideous person. I'm changing the dress, and the feedback allows me to be better within myself and be better for our group.
I love that analogy, and that is such an interesting way of viewing it in that distinction. Because, I'm guilty of this. I've let a friend go out in something they probably shouldn't have been wearing because we wanted to maintain the likability. It's a hard thing to do, to give that feedback. It's not an easy moment. It's
so hard. But when I gave that analogy to our team, because everyone, most of the girls and the guys, everyone understands that analogy. It's like, yeah, they know, if they're not really a friend, I'll let them wear whatever they want. But a true friend, you're like, hey, you can't do this. You can't wear that out because you don't look as best as you could. So it's giving that feedback. I'm like, because you only have a team of 4 or a team of 5, every single gym of ours, it's like, for us, it's like, no, you guys have to give your 4 or 5 people feedback as if you're true friends every single week, because that pushes you to level 3 leaders.
Awesome. So let's talk about level 3 then. We've got a really good distinction. I'm loving the progression here, because it's like there's so many relatabilities and understandings that go through from this. So take us to level 3 then.
Level 3 is production-based leadership. Now, production-based leadership is where stuff starts happening. We start getting results. It's because I moved out of level 2 into level 3. I read that book, Crucial Conversations. I understood that feedback is crucial. That if someone's not actually hitting their KPIs, or they're not, in line with essentially our core values, we told them. It's like, hey, you're not 100% in right now. Well, your KPI was here. You aren't there. So when we look at it, we sort of look with RBT or with any of our businesses, there's essentially this 9 block we use where it's like, it goes 1, 2, 3 across. If you're a 3, and there's core values at the top here. If you're a 3 on our core values, that means you're just not doing it. You're not in our core values. Our core values are community driven. It's inspire, it's educate and empower. And essentially the last one is results. So you're not getting it with essentially the numbers on the board or your clients. You're essentially clients you're managing. So if you're a level 3 leader, you're level 3 in the 9 block, you're over here. A level 1 is like you're all in. You're all in on our business. You believe in our values are up. Now the rest that goes down the side, right? On the side here, it's like your results in the business. So whether it be the bodies they transform or the sales they put on the board, if they're not really hitting it and they're at number 3 down there, it's like you're just not getting the results. They could be a 2 or they could be a 1. Yep, they're making their sales. Yeah, they're essentially getting the results of their clients. We essentially want everyone to be a 1 on core values and a 1 on results. And everyone will be sort of interspersed. They might be a 1 on results, but a 3 on core values, or a 3 on essentially results, and a 1 on core values. For everyone, we plot the whole company. And we want to migrate across to that 1 and 1. Everyone who's up here on the top and they're on core values, we have to have this crucial conversation with them. And this is how we become level 3 leaders. It's like, hey, I love your results, but these are our core values. And this is why we don't see you actually performing inside our core values at the moment. Is there a reason why you're feeling like this, or something you don't understand? So we'll ask that first. And if they understand everything, it's like, okay, well, this is what our core values look like. You have essentially 30 days to come back in line with our essentially our core values, or we're going to have a conversation where you leave the company. Is that okay? And it's like, yeah, for sure. We had this feedback. We told them where they are, where they want to be, and told them that in 30 days' time, we're going to check back in on this. If someone's 3 on core values and they're 3 on performance, you just got to get them out of your company. Make the role redundant, or essentially, fire them and make sure they leave the company, or performance manage them out. They have to leave. If someone's a 1 on the core values, they're a 1. Yeah, they're a 1 on the core values, but they're a 3 on results they're currently driving. Sometimes they're overwhelmed. Okay, so the first thing I do with those people is like, hey, hey, I love what you're doing. You are 100% all in on our company. The results you're providing right now aren't, what we want or expect from you. What I'm going to do over the next 30 days is I'm going to give you a default diary. So at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., this is what I expect the outcome of your work, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, and I just want you to check off as you do it. Now, sometimes some people are just a bit lost with what to do. Their productivity is all over the place. They're busy and not productive. So giving someone a default diary, and that's all you do for 30 days, it goes bang, they go from a level 3 to a level 2. There's still a 1 on the core values because they care about the company, they love you, and now they're performing even better, which is amazing. Now, 30 days later, I love where you are, but you're a 2 now. We need to get you to a 1. We can see that you're highly effective, but the 1 is we want you to be selling at this percentage, not this percentage. We can see you're productive. Your skill level isn't there. So over the next 30 days, this is the training that we're going to give you. Okay, we're going to help you with this rapport or help you with these conversations or help you with overcoming objections. And we're going to see again where you are as far as closing and hopefully you get to a level 1 as far as where we want you on the performance matrix. And then 30 days later, we check in with them. And it's like, yes, we got you over 60 days with a default diary and some upskilling, some personal development. We got you to a level 1 and you're on core values. And we're going to keep you inside this company because you're a performer now. And we know that you are the sum of the 5 people and the whole little law of the lid. If you have some 3s in your company, it drags everyone back down. But what I explained just then, Charlie, is essentially an easy way for you to performance manage any single team member so they can know where they're out, whether it be on the core values, or where they're down, whether on the performance matrix as far as they're not getting the KPIs hit. Now, when I reflect, I'm like, when I'm on a footy team, okay, and I think back when I was playing rugby league and, I was the hooker, right? So I'm passing the ball to my halfback. If I never got told that I was passing a foot behind or a foot in front and I was hitting that pass on the sweet spot, right, and I was getting it to him right in front so he can run, he can hit the line, we're losing a metre or 2 every single tackle. And if we lose a metre or 2 every single tackle, we could lose the game. And if he didn't give me that feedback, okay, he didn't tell me I was passing too far behind or too far in front, and I was just passing, not knowing I was doing the wrong thing, and I cost the team the game. And at the end of the game, he's like, or 2 games later, you're fired. I'm like, you never told me I was doing something wrong. And this happens with so many bosses, right? They don't give feedback to their staff. They don't tell them that what they're doing wrong or what they're telling right. And like 6 months in, they're like, get out of my company. They're like, what happened? I didn't know I was passing the ball backwards or forwards. I was just doing my job and thought I was performing. So for me, back when I was playing on a football field, I needed the feedback. I had that feedback straight away. It's like, I need you to pass half a foot further forward. It's like, great, sweet spot, sweet spot, sweet spot. Hey, Trav, you need half a foot forward. Remember, feedback, cool, half a foot forward. And we won the game. Because I got the feedback, I could be the right team member on the team, and I wasn't hijacked with feedback kicking me off the team because I was constantly performance managed as I went forward. And everyone understands that. Does that make sense?
Trav, my cheeks actually hurt a little bit from grinning through that because so much of it, was relatable and then understandable. And then I see this stuff quite commonly, as I'm sure you do. So what's interesting is what you've done really well is take something a little bit complex and make it simple to understand in that sporting analogy, which I think is so, so cool. So I want to do some little breakdowns on that one on things I took because I think people really need to pay attention to this one. So number 1, it's like understanding that feedback is crucial to winning the game. Like you can't get away or hide from having those conversations. It's a must do for the chance of your business winning in this case from there. It's so, so powerful.
Well, level 3 is production-based leadership, Charlie. Like that's when your team starts winning. Without feedback, you're going to lose the game. So with feedback, saying pass a little bit further forward, I can catch it right. We start making meters in the tackles, or we start kicking the goals, and we start winning the game. So the team feels like they're winning. Before you go forward with this, I just want you to tell you, like, if you're a level 2 leader, like a football game, okay, rugby league I'm going to talk about right now, not AFL, sorry guys, or soccer. A rugby league game is 80 minutes on the field, okay? At the end of the game, okay, you walk into the locker room of the team that wins, and you walk into the locker room at the team that loses. The team that loses, towel on their hair, they look like they're exhausted. They look like they're tired. They feel like losers. You walk into the team that won the game, they're like, arms are in the air. They're like high five, smashing like a beer or something like that. They look like they can play another game. Why do they look like they can play another game when both of them played all out? Both of them only played for 80 minutes. Because when you're winning, it gives you energy. And they couldn't win without feedback. All of a sudden, a level 2 leader, yeah, you might have friends, but you've got friends that are losers because you're not winning the game. So you must give feedback to win the game, because winning the game gives your team energy, and giving energy allows them to play even harder the next game. And your next game is your next week of work. So it's so crucial that you give feedback, because it actually provides energy to your team to win the game and actually carry forth to produce the results.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with that more. One of the things that made the biggest difference in my company was creating the win the week. It's like creating an environment where we win every week. And it was like production and performance just skyrocketed. I was like, holy shit, I wish I worked this out. A year ago, we'd be further ahead. But so many crucial points there. And again, it's funny how often, I even had a joke about this before the podcast, like how many great sporting analogies, because we can understand them and conceptualize them, make really great lessons for business. And often why athletes or people that have been in sporting clubs make great business owners, because they understand these principles on a big level. But the point, I've got to loop back to this one, because I think this is so unique as well, is like you used a tangible way to identify people who are performing and not performing in your team through KPIs, which I think is something pretty common. We all know about KPIs. I think it's pretty common. People go, oh, look, your people have got KPIs. But what I think was really unique about what you said was that you also brought in the understanding that you were allowing 60 days to train someone or move them. You weren't putting short windows on things. And I think that's a really common mistake people make. Like if you're trying to take someone from, in your case, a 3 to a 1, it's not going to happen in 7 days, depending on the role. So being realistic in how long it takes to increase people and having set ways and framing conversations correctly so that person isn't disheartened along the way, which I think is just so, so cool as well.
I think with that, Charlie, something you have to understand as well is like your culture is everything. So even if someone's a 1 with performance inside our businesses, no matter what business, we run across 3-4 different companies actually. So it doesn't matter if you're killing it and you're making sales or you're getting results, whatever it is. I don't care if you're getting results if you're not a part of the culture. If you're not like all in on us with our team, with the rest of the team, like I'll find someone else who's a 2, but they're a 1 on culture, and they'll actually perform better because the team will perform better. I don't want a bunch of people who are number 1, like this, there is no I in team. 100% staying true with this, because I don't care if you're not in on what we believe in, our vision, our mission, our core values, because we have to work with you every day. And no one wants to work with a dickhead just because they're making sales.
Absolutely. And even if they are a performer, that negative energy on the team will destroy the rest of them. So it's like you pay a toll for it. And what the irony is, and why I wanted to make this make this a podcast episode, is because I think this stuff is just forgotten. I'm like, this is where leadership comes into the story. So undoubtedly, so many moments and already things I'm sitting here going, oh, maybe we need to tweak a few things, or how important this can become. But let's go to level 4 now. So we've just done level 3 and understanding the production base. What's next?
Cool. So when we're looking at this, like we go from essentially this like level 3 leadership, we start to win, right? And this is hard as we start to move from essentially level 3 leaders. You're still the captain, right? You're the captain of this team. Like production-based leadership means you're going to jump in and help them make sales sometimes if they're not making sales. You're showing them what to do. You have this character, like you're going above and beyond for them. But level 4 leadership, it's when you start to create leaders. And it's when you start to, as a company, you need to start to step back from the limelight. And it's very hard. It's very hard for a lot of business owners, especially, of small teams, okay, to step back into level 4 leadership because, hey, the business is me. Like, I've got to be in the spotlight. It's like, no, mate, like the business isn't about you anymore. The business is about the team following you, and you need to get people to step up to be the forefront of your business. And your whole goal is to develop leaders. It's to serve them so well that they surpass you. And that's so crucial that, we need this identity shift. And, with this, when we look at, Tony Robbins talks about this 6 human needs, okay? So many males, and I'll say males because males are more significant or ego-driven than females. There's like these 6 human needs, and a lot of us, and I was in my 20s and even to my early 30s, is significance driven. So I wanted people to think, yeah, I was the best, right? But then as I started to mature more, I was like, okay, it's not about me. It's about us serving society on a greater level. And for me to serve society on a greater level, I need to build 20 me's. And as we grow RBT, for example, 50, 100 me's. So they are truly the leaders in the industry, not me. I'm fading away to the background because I need them to serve their own 200, 300 person communities. Because, yeah, I could do that and I could change, maybe 1,000 lives. But by stepping back and creating leaders to become better than me, to getting them positioned as the authorities, them truly developing leaders below them, we can change 20,000 lives, 30,000 lives. I get to start to 10x or 20x my results because I don't care that it's about me anymore. It's about serving on a deeper level. And that's when we look at the two secondary human needs, which is growth and contribution. When it's not about you anymore, you start to focus on your team more. You start to focus on growing them, contributing back to them, and now letting them grow more so they can contribute back to society. But your significance or ego needs to take a check or take a bit of a back seat because people don't come up to you anymore and go, oh my gosh, I can see you doing this all the time and you aren't the leader of that facility or leader of that business anymore. You create leaders that allow you to do it for you, essentially. And that's a big distinction as you are essentially stepping from a level 3 to a level 4 leadership. You're like, oh gosh, I have to be good enough, or I have to essentially be humble enough within myself to allow it not to be about me. But a level 4 leadership is it's great because you understand that you are building leaders now. You're empowering others to move forth and understanding that you're using relationships, you're giving feedback, you've got production, they're growing within inside the company for you. Level 4 leaders start to reproduce themselves. So you're building level 3 leaders who are stepping in. I'm stepping in and I'm going to do the sales with you. I'm going to step in and start to mop the floors for you. I'm going to step in and they're going to be the level 3 leaders now. And you can't build a level 4 leader if you're a level 3 leader. So you got to step up and build the level 4, and then you have to obviously step up and build the level 5. But level 4 leadership is this whole Simon Sinek's leaders eat last is crucial because still with level 4 leadership, you're still sort of stepping back. Your team needs to eat before you eat. You're serving society on a deeper level because you're putting them before your needs. Their needs, leadership is all about service. You're purely a servant. Okay, so for us across the company, we've got 150 employees. I'm truly serving on a deeper level right now than I've ever served before. I'm happy for them because I keep 150 lives fed and families, with roofs over their head. And the more that I can serve and the bigger I can grow this and the more leaders I can grow within my companies as level 4 leaders, that means I get to touch society on a deeper level. And that's truly what I get to do as far as contributing to the world is I want to be a servant on the biggest capacity I possibly can. And I don't care about myself. I care about them. I care about their lives. I care about how they're contributing back. I care about their following. And am I growing them enough to become a level 4 leader? Am I growing their personal development, their education? When you start to care about their education more than your education, that's when you truly start to win.
I love that so much. And the reason is the impact you get to make. That's the big reward here is you get to 10x your impact. But I really well recognize what you said on it's a hard step for 2 reasons in my mind. For 2. Number one, dissolving the ego is not an easy task, especially for an adrenaline-fueled competitive male. I think and this is where the athlete side might work against you a little bit. But the other side of this is the point I feel is a completely different skill set. This is where the switch is from, you getting better to helping other get, it's a key distinction point, helping other people get better and developing them.
If you got to think about it like this, you're moving from the captain to the coach.
Definitely. Great analogy from sports again.
So if you're the captain on the football field or whatever field, you are there, you are putting in the hard yards, you are making sure the tries are made or the goals are kicked, you're doing what you said you'll do, you're turning up early and you're going, you're leaving late. We look at, I think it was Covey Bryant, he would turn up before, and this is a whole nother talk. It's when we look at level 3 leaders, he was amazing because he would show up before practice, and to deliberate practice, he wouldn't just take 500 shots. He would make 500 shots, free throws, before training would even start. The difference between taking 500 shots and making 500 shots is like 1,000 points. But essentially, he was having deliberate practice to make it go. And he would train harder than everyone else because he knew that he had to be that to lead the team. So he is a great level 3 leader. But when we look at that, how can he step out and become a level 4 leader? Well, that's essentially, you can lead your team to, I want you to be my successor. Okay, and we look at this in our company. If I left or anyone leaves, we need to have a successor that follows us. So all of our companies start to try and be level 4 leaders, because you don't know what's going to happen ever. But level 4 leadership is like, you're not on the field anymore. You're off the field. You're coaching them from the sidelines. The captain is now the star of the show. People know about you, but they don't really care about you because, like, it's okay. But like, that's when that humility has to take a check. And if you're growing essentially multiple locations like us, I can be a coach, or I'm even removed, right? Like, I'm just like on the board of directors that the coach sort of talks to now, that essentially is coaching like 20 captains right now. And these captains are really like trying to essentially get their field on play and, win the game every single week. And that's the biggest analogy I can understand. Is you have to be understanding. It's like, you have to stop being the captain and move to the coach and put a great captain in place when you essentially start to move to level 4 leadership.
Definitely. And I would almost say this will define if you've done a good job in finding a good captain, because otherwise you end up back on the field following suit on this, which is very, very common.
100%, right? You end up essentially going, I'll come out of retirement. I'll come out of retirement. And it's like, why? And then what happens is you come out of retirement too many times. It's like, guys, you just should have stayed in retirement. And people start to, your legacy gets remembered in a different way. So you have to know when you essentially should, get into retirement and find a coach. But then it's making sure that you grew them or groomed them to be as a level 4 leader when you're inside that, essentially inside that captain still, and you pulled them up. But with this, what you have to understand, it depends on your money. You can buy level 3 leadership, or sometimes you have to grow it. It's time or money, right? It comes down to any business. You can buy success, or you can grow success. If you have money, you can buy success. I'm going to buy that top performer over there. I'm going to make sure they understand our core values. I'm going to place them, and I'm going to make them essentially, they're a level 3 leader because they're production based, right? And there's been times that we've bought level 3 leaders into locations because they needed a level 3 leader. And then essentially there's this thing called the law of the catalyst, right? Like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was a catalyst, right? He goes into a team, he makes the team win, because he is like this pinnacle person, or this player that can essentially shift momentum. So as a level 3 leader, sometimes you can buy level 3 leaders and you can shift momentum overnight because they go above and beyond. They already all in on core values. They understand work ethic. They understand grit and resilience. But if you don't have the money, you have to grow level 3 leaders. If you have the money, you can buy them and you can step back even faster. So it's super understanding. But sometimes when you buy players and they're not in on your core values, you just bought an expensive person who's a piece of shit, and you have to get them rid of really, really fast.
Absolutely. And I think to throw another point in here is that if you're not a level 4 leader, buying level 3 leaders when you're not at that level only smells to be a recipe for disaster. Like, that's a dangerous zone to be playing in.
100%, because you can't lead level 3 leaders if you're not a level 4. You have to work on yourself. You have to work on your identity, because say I buy someone who's a level 3 and I haven't got over my own significance ego bullshit and they start winning, I start competing with my teammates, and all of a sudden we have internal resentment. And all of a sudden you don't have a good team dynamic, and all of a sudden your team falls apart. So you must be a level 3 leader. You must have your ego and humility in check when you start to grow or buy level 3s, because you have to really understand it ain't about you anymore.
Absolutely. And you probably saw me, like, again, grinning and laughing, smiling, because I've seen that exact thing, especially at sales roles, has been the one 100%. Particularly, which is a really great pickup or identification. But let's go to the top level here, level 5. What is level 5?
Level 5 is like pinnacle leadership, right? Level 5 is pinnacle leadership. It is the very top. You can't just get to level 5. It is like a lifelong journey. You're constantly working on yourself because, it's so crucial as far as like your personal development to become level 5. I don't really talk about too much about it because everything is, for most companies, it's getting level 4 leaders or get to level 5, get to level 4 leadership, because level 5 doesn't only require effort, doesn't only require skill and intentionality. So you must be intended to go towards that, but also it requires some talent, right? Like you have to, be slightly extroverted, or you need to essentially have the ability to, maintain the extroverted personality when you need to. You need to have charisma. You need to have all these attributes, the qualities of a leader that we can go through if you want in a little bit. But you have to be like 10 out of 10 across all qualities of a leader. And sometimes that is very hard for people to learn. So you can be essentially a naturally gifted leader. For me, I don't think I'm a naturally gifted leader or was ever gifted at sports. It was purely work ethic and, your determination and hustle and grit. You can get to level 4. But a little bit of getting to level 5 is a little bit of talent. And it takes a lot of time. So if you're willing to be patient, you're willing to put in the hard yards, and this is not what we want in society anymore. At the moment, everyone's about instant gratification. You can't accept mediocrity within yourself to be a level 5 leader. You can only, accept excellence. So when I look at this, right, leadership, and this is where, again, we look at like climbing a mountain, okay? So if I go, pinnacle leadership is at the top of the mountain, what's it look like? Who do I look like them? What are my personality, my characteristic traits them? What have I achieved them? Is my company doing like 20 million a year or 10 million a year? Like, what am I doing? Like, how am I serving? What am I giving back? Like, how many lives am I changing? Am I changing 20,000 lives a year? Like, what does it look like? Who am I? Who do I become at that point? And that's excellence. That's not mediocrity. And then all of a sudden, on the way there, like I have to achieve all these sort of, base camps to climbing the mountain. And I go, okay, those attributes, well, I can be that person now. But if I stop halfway and only halfway, that's mediocrity. That's society. If I want to be a level 5 leader, I can never let feelings take hold. And I can sometimes, I can be vulnerable. I need to essentially apologize because sometimes I get frustrated with my staff, and, everyone does. But you need to essentially then be vulnerable enough, go, I'm sorry for how I acted. I should have had my shit in check. That comes down to personal development more, to actually be a better leader. But I need to be on this journey, and this lifelong journey is level 5 leadership, that I am here. This is what it looks like. I'm going to act like that now. And if I stop anywhere along the way, I accepted mediocrity. And level 5 leaders never accept mediocrity within themselves.
That is a huge target, and I think very few people would reach that standard. But one of the things I just want to point out is that, someone might be listening to this thinking they have to be a level 5 leader, and I don't think that is the obligation. You can have a great business and be a level 3 leader from where I sit here, or even ideally a level 4. But this task here, is there anyone top of mind that you would consider a level 5 leader?
Richard Branson, right? He essentially, I would say, someone like that of Richard Branson. Or you look at, Nelson Mandela. You look at those like we look at business, or we don't look at business. Those people that it's not about them. It's about the cause. It's about the purpose. It's about the vision. And they have these followers, and they don't have these followers because these people even are being paid to follow them. They have these followers because they admire what these people have achieved and what they stood for. Because when we essentially stand for something and we don't let someone pay me money to sway me, I don't let, time or determination or grit, I don't let it's too hard to achieve. No, this is my belief. I don't care what it takes in my life. I am essentially, this is my journey. This is my passion, and nothing will stop me from achieving this journey and passion and vision. And this is my quest, or this is my purpose I was put on this earth for. That is a level 5 leader. And you don't have to be a level 5 leader. I'm not saying that at all. Like you just said there, man, level 5 leaders, that's why some people are talented and they're born, that they were put here to change the world. And anyone can choose to change the world. It just takes a lot of sacrifice. And level 5 leadership, is sacrifice. Every single leadership movement along the way is sacrifice. You want to, go to level 2. You have to sacrifice essentially, just being in your position. I've got to make friends. You want to sacrifice to get to level 3. I need to sacrifice my friends and give feedback so I can garner respect. You want to move to level 4. I need to sacrifice essentially my ego and my humility. I need to be humble and sacrifice my identity to build leaders. So everything is sacrifice along the way. And you just have to look at what you're sacrificing. I want to be a level 5 leader. I'm literally sacrificing everything for my purpose, my vision, my quest to achieve the top, the pinnacle, the peak of the mountain. And that's what a level 5 leader is. A level 3 leader is fine. If you want to make $1 million, you can be a level 3 leader. It can be about you. You can have production. You can jump in and make sales. I'm a level 3 leader in some of our businesses. I'm a level 4 leader in some of our businesses. I'm sure to some of our employees, they probably think I'm a level 2 because I haven't had to have those conversations with them. I hope I'm not a level 1. Okay, I can only try and work on myself every single day with some people. But I know that where I stand when I'm level 3 or level 2 or level 4, and I know where I'm going on my journey, and I have to reflect every day, at the end of it every day, and I really don't have many conversations anymore, and I'm blessed to only talk to about I'm blessed to talk about 7 to 10 people every day. And I don't say I'm blessed because I dislike talking to people. I'm blessed because that allows me to focus on this lifelong journey of education and growth and contribution. So when I do have these conversations, like I literally was just out before this call, I drove to Brunswick and I had an hour and a half team meeting. And we do these team meetings with like RBT, and I like to do with like these 5 guys inside Brunswick. I'm like, this is the vision for this team. This is the vision for RBT, but this is the vision for you. This is what I need from you, and this is what I want to do for you. This is what RBT is going to do for you. How can we buy in with this, and how can we do this together? And I don't want to assume anymore because I've made assumptions in the past. Okay, so instead of making assumptions within my business, I want to talk to every single person within my company and go, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I assumed. So it's not an assumption. I'm communicating here. Is this the right thing to do for us? And I'm actually getting out there and talk. I've talked to every single person over the last couple of weeks within RBT. In November and December, I had a one-on-one with every single 100 employees, making sure I can see what their year vision is, what they wanted to achieve in 2018. Because if I don't help them achieve it, I failed. I failed. And, for me, yeah, for sure, winning is some money in the bank. But for me, truly winning as a company, yeah, that's what they want to see, the scoreboard, the money. For me, winning is I kept the employees we had in December and I helped them achieve their 1-year vision because I served them so well that I allowed them, they let me help them get there. And that's where we have to look as leaders, or that's where I look as a leader.
The ownership there is fantastic. That is a very noble way of thinking about it. And something that really stands out to me is your awareness of these levels and how you're behaving in different environments, like being a level 3 in some business and a level 4 in others. Really, when I think about this, that is the starting point, though. And I'm going to reference, what was the name of this book with the 5 levels again? It was by Maxwell.
Literally the 5 Levels of Leadership by John Maxwell. And also, what I get my guys to do is he actually has a questionnaire that you can get your team below and above you to fill out. And you can see where you are to them based on the questionnaire answers. And yeah, you can start to change, but you have to read some of the other books I said to truly get to that next level. And when I said I don't talk to many people anymore, I talk to these 10 people each day. So I talk to 4 or 5 of them at Brunswick. We're going to talk today with me and you. I'm going to talk to probably 2 or more people after this, and that's it for the day. But every day I reflect at the end of the day, and I have my list of 10 people I talk to, and I go, did I serve Charlie today? Or did I serve Jack when I was at Brunswick? Did I serve Maddie when I was at Brunswick? Did I serve these people at Brunswick? Do I serve Phil when I talk to him after this? Did I serve? And if I served, yeah, I led today. If I can go, you know what? They didn't leave that conversation better than they started that conversation. I didn't serve them today, and that was bad on me. And tomorrow I need to make that up, because every single conversation someone has with me, they need to leave better than when they started. And when that's better because I gave them feedback on how to become a better human, well, that's better because I inspired them that they can do more, be more, achieve more because of who they are and the potential I see in them. Whatever it is, they can leave that conversation, whether it be a smile or whether it be the pathway to success. That's what I need to actually serve the world the way I want to serve the world. And this is my journey, okay? And you can adopt some of the things that I'm saying or everything that I'm saying.
Well, another just very unique quality you have, which I find very awesome, to say flat out, is that like for most business owners, they might be tracking the amount of leads or sales or revenue. But for you, it's like tracking how you're serving through these conversations and your interactions with people. Like that is very different than what most do. And I can see why you are where you are based on behaving like that. So it is a very, very awesome way to be looking at your day and looking back over.
I track impact.
Imagine if we all tracked that.
How much are you impacting today?
Well, you can tick the box for me, definitely. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. This is some really powerful conversations and things people could be looking at. So you touched on something else briefly. So John C. Maxwell, The 5 Levels of Leadership, like that is a great starting point. But then we've also referenced things within this, and I'm sure there is miraculous books on leadership to dive in. And guys, I will make sure we include these all in the show notes, some very important stuff. But I want to flip gears a little bit here and ask a few other questions because these have been really important. But something I'm really curious on is what drove you towards leadership? Why did you take this on? And you're obviously very well developed in this area.
Like I knew to change the world. Like for us, I'm like, it's a hard one, right? I sort of gone through these times, and Liv sort of told me like 2 years ago, every 2 years I try to become the next version of myself. And Matthew McConaughey, I think we talked about maybe on the last podcast, like who inspires you? Who do you look up to? And he does this speech, if you like, Google or YouTube, like Matthew McConaughey, like inspirational Oscars speech or whatever it was. He talks about, it's like, who do you look up to? And he said like, a while back, when he was, 20 or when he was 15, he was like, who do I look up to? And I look up to me 10 years from now. And all I'm doing is competing with them. And when he was 25, he looked up to the 35 version of them. And he had to compete with them. He was 35, he looked up to the 45. For me, like, I look at what we want to achieve in this lifetime. And we want to achieve, the 20,000 lives changed by 2020. We want to, in the think tank, help 1,000 business owners make $1 million by 2020. That's our $1 billion mission within the think tank. We have our 20,000 lives changed yearly, our mission with RBT. Like, who the fuck do I have to be to achieve that? I have to be someone who owns themselves. I need to be someone who does what they said they're going to do. Like my characteristic traits, like I need to commit. I must have charisma so people listen to me. Like I need to be someone that it's not out of significance, but to me to build level 4 leaders, to me to essentially like have such like a service to them, to trying to create their lives, like to help them get there. Like I need to be someone pretty special to them, not to the world, not to everyone, because a lot of people don't even know who I am or what I do. Like, we've been in the coaching industry for like 5 or 6 years. I've probably coached most of the coaches in Australia, but no one knows who I am because I don't care. It's not about ego or significance. I really don't give a shit about who knows me. I care about the people who do know me and how well I impacted their lives. It's not about significance or ego. It's about humility and going, yeah, I made that person $1 million and hopefully they can impact 1,000 lives because of that. And I look at the qualities of a leader and, whenever you read a book, and this is, knowledge consumption, right? Like I think I talk about this a lot, like growth doesn't happen just because of time. Just because you own a business doesn't mean you're a fucking leader. Just because you've owned a business for 3 years doesn't mean you're a leader either. Time doesn't make you better at something. Most of the time it makes you fucking worse. But when you look at this, if you have intention, and if I go, I want to achieve that, okay, and I am here, who do I need to be? Most people go, B times do equals have, right? Most people go, if I just do that, then I'll have that. And most people are like, I'll do the marketing and I'll do the sales and I'll have the results. It's like, oh, my marketing's not working 100% or my team isn't following me. It's like, because you're missing a crucial aspect. It's be times do equals have. Who do I need to be for my marketing to work, for me to get the leads? Who do I need to be to influence society, to make them want to do business with me? Who do I need to be to have my teams want to work hard for me because they believe that I'm doing this for them? I'm serving them because I want them to succeed. I don't give a fuck about me. I want them to succeed on a deeper level. And I know that they'll succeed. I'll end up succeeding anyway. But if my business fell over, I've helped 150 lives have better quality lives over the last couple of years, and it will continue to grow. So the qualities of leader he talks about is like, do you have character? Do you do what you said you're going to do? And because character is everything, like, do you give respect and do you get respect? Essentially, everything comes down to, if you said you were going to be here at 12 o'clock for this meeting, were you going to be here? If you said you were going to show up, like literally the other week at South Melbourne RBT, someone smashed a window out the front. And last year, a couple of people smashed windows. They broke into a car and stole some stuff. I was like, sorry, guys. I jumped into the members group. I'm like, for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to wake up. I push my training session from 5:30 to 4:30 a.m. I said, I'm going to sit at the front of RBT from 5:45 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. for 2 weeks straight. And if I see someone about to break in, I'll stop them. They're like, what the fuck? Is this guy's serious? I was like, 100%. You mean more to me. I was like, yeah, 200 members, right? Yeah, we have 10 gyms. We have 2,000 members in Melbourne, and we have staff that could do that. But I wanted to do it because nothing is below me. And I showed up every morning. I did what I said I was going to do. I said, see you to the members as they sort of left. And they're like, this guy actually stands for what he says. And if you do what you said you're going to do, your staff will do what you said you're going to do. If I showed up twice and I made an excuse why I didn't show up the third day because Finn was crying and didn't sleep or I was tired or whatever it is, then you're allowing mediocrity within yourself. Your character is now questionable. You are not credible anymore. And people think it's okay that mediocrity lives within your workplace. So the biggest thing that comes down to leadership is your character. The next thing is your charisma, okay? You must be charismatic, and you cannot have pride, insecurity, moodiness, perfectionism to have charisma. I talk and I step outside my comfort zone every single day. The law of essentially of expansion or attention. Okay, so your comfort zone is here. You also must be always living outside your comfort zone. So your life constantly has tension. Your comfort zone expands. You shift it further. Like, you must have this charisma. You must not worry about what other people think about you, because as soon as you worry about what other people think about you, all of a sudden you are dampening your authentic self and you're not truly serving society on a deeper level that you were born to be serving at. So you've got to stop worrying about what people think and be the charismatic person that you were born to become. The next is commitment. You are all in. If you decided to do something, no matter the cause, you sell your car to keep moving. You sell your house to keep moving. You don't take a paycheck. You don't eat. You're all in for your team. That's what it's all about. Then communication is next. When you talk to them, do you inspire them? Do you give them hope? Are you the eternal optimist? When there's a fire, you say, it's okay, we're cold, so we need the heat. You're vulnerable enough with your communication that if there is a fire, you say to them, hey, because I've said this in the past, hey, guys, do you mind if we go back with your pay is $15,000 for the next month or two, and then I'll make it up in a year with a bonus? And they said yes. I'm like, because we are too tight right now. And the vulnerability allows them to know where you are as a person, and they appreciate you reaching out. They respect you even deeper sometimes. Competence, that is the next quality. If you're competent at what you do you believe, and you inspire them with your confidence that you can lead or you can do what they said that you are asking them to do, and they believe in you? Do you have courage? Do you have courage to face any type of fear with them and they'll stand behind you or beside you? Or do you run from it? Because if you run from it, then they'll definitely run for it. Do you listen to them? You don't just hear them, but you listen to what they're saying. You step into their shoes, see how they see the world. You see it through their eyes, so you can then come back and communicate in an empathetic manner, so you can actually communicate on a deeper level and have proper relationships. Do you have all these qualities I just said? Because that allows you to influence them, influence society, influence on a deeper level, so you have the qualities of a leader. If you don't, rate yourself 1 to 10 on each of them, and then go, how do I get from a 3 to 4 on communication? How do I get there in 90 days? Write what it looks like in 90 days as a 4, and then make a 5-step process to get from a 3 to 4. And all of a sudden, you've had intentional growth as a leader, and you can become the person you need to be to reach the pinnacle.
I tell you what, I think you just actually laid out a roadmap for anyone that wants to improve as a leader. And there were so many brilliant points. I think many people will rewind and rewatch this, as I will from there. And I just really wanted to loop back to this one. the example of the car park on the broken window at the gym, like to me, when I hear that scenario and how you described it, they are the leadership moments, those proof of character moments that really make something so special. So I love how you've demonstrated this, Trav. I think you've done a really good job of, and even when I saw you speak, it's like you were demonstrating leadership as you taught leadership. And I thought the impact power was through the roof on the basis of that.
I appreciate it.
Trav, this is so cool. Now, we are going to wrap this one up. This has been an amazing conversation on leadership. And I want to say a massive thank you for coming on and sharing all this, because it is unique and it's not the information that's easily found these days or broadcasted these days. So, guys, to find out more about Trav, I'd really encourage you to follow him on Instagram and Facebook. I've recently started doing that since our last conversation, and you've got a solid feed on both fronts. So searching for Travis Jones on both of those platforms, and again, we'll have links to this stuff, will make all the difference. So guys, this has been Confessions of a Business Owner on Leadership with Travis Jones. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for coming on the show, Trav. It was an absolute pleasure having you.
As always, mate, an honor to serve.
Thank you so much, guys. That's it for this one.